Hi, my name is Nichole, and this is the CK Diary Podcast. I hope you're all having a great week. This week, I'm here in Gatlinburg with my husband, my two boys, and my dad. We came up, my dad had a work trip, so we came up to hang out with him for the week, and it's my dad's birthday today, and it's my birthday tomorrow, so we thought we'd come up here and celebrate. We've had a lot of fun. We've done a few things in downtown Gatlinburg. We went to downtown Knoxville today, and that was a lot of fun. Downtown Knoxville is like my perfect trip place. I love being in the mountains. I love being outdoors, but second to that, I love being in slow cities. I don't like really big, busy cities, but I like being able to walk around and have cute little cafes and boutiques, and but I don't like being like shoulder to shoulder with people. So downtown Knoxville was perfect today. This podcast is probably going to be a little bit shorter. You'll probably hear my boys stomping around upstairs, but I just wanted to share one of my finished objects, a couple of my whips, and then some things that I've purchased while I've been here. Okay. So first I'll start with my finished object. This is my Sophie scarf. I'm sure I talked about it last week. I used Malabrigo's sock yarn in the color Aladdin. I held it double, and I used a 3.5 millimeter. I used 3.5 millimeter needles with a 24-inch circular, I'm pretty sure. You don't need to use a circular. That's just what I had, so that's what I used. All right. My whip, I will show you, is my granny triangle shawl. I've talked about this before. I don't think I've ever shown it. I said last week that I was using 10 gram mini skeins. That was wrong. I'm using 20 gram mini skeins. I'm just buying one from every yarn shop I visit. I've got a few more I need to work in, but I'm really excited about that. This one, I did buy online from Polka Dot Creek whenever I got my 2024 Blanket Club yarn. I thought it was going to be more pinky. I don't know why I thought that, because I think online it looks the same, but for some reason I thought it was going to be more pinky. It's a little bit more purple, but it's very cute and I like it a lot. And it'll actually tie in with some of the mini skeins I got to work into it. Okay. And then my last whip I'm going to talk about is my jelly roll blanket. The pattern is from Kay Jones on Ravelry. I'm using my 2024 Blanket Club yarn by Polka Dot Creek for this one. I love my January mini skeins. They're all pink. Pink is my favorite color, so I'm really excited to work those in. I've got a few that are my favorites that I'll have to share with you guys. But anyway, okay, so I'm going to move on to the yarn shops I've visited. I'm going to start from the last one I visited to the first one I visited, because I bought more at the first one, a little bit less at the second one, and then even less at the third. So I'll go ahead and start with the shop that I purchased the least from. This was Loopville in Knoxville, Tennessee. And I'll share with you guys what I got and what I'm planning with it. So these are the first two I will show you. This is Blue Sky Fibers. They're Woolstock worsted in color October Sky. And then this is Queensland Collection. This is their luxury merino silk and cashmere tweed. Worsted. What's the color? Let's see if I can find it. It just says color 16. I don't know if it has a color name. So I'm making both of my boys and myself and my husband, but we're gonna share our blanket. I'm making them a closed granny square blanket. I'm getting a yarn from everywhere that we've traveled to, and I'm going to work it into the blanket. And then I'm planning on just collecting yarns from all of our trips until they turn 18, putting all of the blankets together, and I'm wanting that to be their graduation present. They're still very young, so I've got a long time to figure out when I'm actually going to give it to them and what I'm going to do with it. But I don't know which yarn I'm going to use for that. I really want to use this one. This is my preferred color choice, but it is 50 grams and 123 yards, so that means 100 grams would be 246 yards. And I think this is a little bit on the lighter worsted side. The other yarns I've used for the blanket so far have been 100 grams and 210 yards. And this is a little bit closer to that at 208 yards. So I think this one's probably going to meet the gauge a little bit better, but we will see. I could always use a little bit bigger of a hook if I want to use that light blue. All right. And then I got this. It is 100% merino wool, 50 grams, 175 yards. And it is in color P859. I think this colorway is gorgeous. I thought whenever I purchased it that it was fingering weight. I just wasn't paying attention. It is DK weight, so I don't know what I'm going to make with it. Originally, I bought it for my granny triangle shawl. But if you know of any patterns that uses a 50-gram skein of DK weight yarn, let me know. I was also thinking about pairing it with a brown. I think that would be very beautiful with a brown color, like a chocolatey brown color. All right. And the last thing I purchased from Loopville is this. It's from MAT, I think. It's called Unicorn Tails, or MT maybe. It's called Unicorn Tails, and it is in color Fatal Attraction. It is a fingering weight yarn. It did not say how many grams this mini skein is. I'm thinking it's 10 grams, but the color was beautiful, and I think it'll go really nicely with my granny triangle shawl. So I'll probably just have a row. It does have a couple of like deeper pinks that kind of tie in well with this color. I think it'll tie in well. It'll just be fewer amounts of rows. All right, that was all from Loopville. And then this shop is probably one of my favorite shops I've ever been to. It is called, let me find, I believe it's called The Bee Knits. I think that's what it's called. Let me see. Oh, here it is. The Bee Knits Yarn Shop. It's their little logo. It is in Knoxville, Tennessee. It's downtown. And they just opened at the beginning of December last year. So they've been open for just almost 2 months. And it is so cute. I haven't visited a yarn shop quite like it yet. They had, most of the yarn shops that I've visited haven't really had like little knickknacks, I feel like, or at least not little knickknacks that like I was thinking of. And she had, let me see, let me show you. I got a little sticker that said, I don't need a license to carry my 9mm. I thought that was cute. Has a little 9mm hook on it. And then she also had, let's see, it's a little ball of yarns in a heart shape with knitting needles, and it says handmade with love. And I'm going to put this on my main project bag. I've been looking for little yarn pins. She had all kinds of locally made things in there. She had locally dyed yarn. She had locally dyed yarn from Knoxville and then also from Nashville, Tennessee. And then she had locally made project bags and locally made clay goods. I believe she had bowls and cups in there is what I saw. I did buy a project bag. This is just so cute. It is from Black Cat and Birdie. And it's a typewriter with love letters on it. I think that is just so cute. Last week, oh gosh, what is it called? Sorry, I couldn't think of the word. I pre-ordered Chelsea Yarn's Valentine's Yarn Club, or yarn, her yarn set last week. And so I thought this would be a really cute project bag to use for it. All right, that brought me so much joy. I love that little project bag. She has an online store. She said the website's not fully set up yet, but she does have the large tote version of that, which if I didn't have so many big project bags, I probably would have gotten, but I really needed some smaller ones because I want to start working on socks. Speaking of socks, this is one of their locally dyed yarns from Nashville, Tennessee. It is Magnolia at Dusk is the colorway name. It is sock, 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. It has greens and blues, and it even looks like maybe a little bit of grays and purpley colors. This is going to be for my husband. So pretty. All right. And then the last thing I got from the Bees Knits is this Nomish Fiberworks yarn. It does not have a colorway name. It is a halfling mini fingering weight, 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. And this is going to be one of the yarns I work into my granny shawl, my granny wrap. All right. And then the the first place I went to, but the last yarns I'm showing you is from the Smoky Mountain Spinnery. This yarn shop was amazing. It's in downtown Gatlinburg. They specialize in spinning, I believe. I mean, it's called the Spinnery, and they have all kinds of spinning wheels and drop spindles, I think are what they're called. And they have all kinds of rovings to choose from. All kinds of knitting needles and notions and kits. They have a lot of the cocoa kits and all kinds of different yarns. And I got a lot of locally yarns that are locally inspired, and then locally hand-dyed yarn. All right, so first I will show you what I got for my boys' blankets. This is from Earth Yarns, I believe is what it's called. It's their unique worsted, 100% superwash, extra fine merino. And the color is 4006. It's beautiful. This skein has all of the colors that I already have in their blanket. It has blues and greens and tans. There's some grays in there too, and I've used blue, green, and gray in their blanket, or blue, green, and tan in their blanket so far. All right, next I have, I'll show you my granny shawl, my granny triangle shawl yarn next. This is called Pink Lady Slipper. This was locally, let me see. Okay, this is the Copper Corgi. This is an exclusive colorway. I believe the Copper Corgi dyes in Florida, but this is an exclusive colorway for the Smoky Mountain Spinnery. So cute. I don't know if you can see the sparkle with this lighting, but it is very sparkly and very cute. And that will also be worked into my granny shawl. All right, let's see. This is hand dyed by one of their employees there. I believe she said. It's called Hartley's Hand Dyes. It's 100% superwash merino, DK weight. I do not think that the Hartley's Hand Dyes has colorway names on them. It says 401, maybe that's it. But this is a pretty, it has blues and light blues, maybe a little bit of gray. I'm going to be using this for a muscle bro, I can't remember how to say it, hat for my husband. And then I got this. It is knitted wit sock. I'm not sure where they dye. But I believe that their yarns are based off of national parks and monuments and all of those kinds of things. At least that's what I saw at the Smoky Mountain Spinnery. This one is inspired by the Petroglyph National Monument. It is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. I plan on making myself some socks out of this. I bought a lot of sock yarn on this trip, so I've got a lot of socks to make. This one is the same company, or the same dyer, Hartley's Hand Dyed, 100% superwash merino. This one is fingering weight. I either plan to make a hat or socks out of this. I'm not sure yet. All right, and then last but certainly not least, I was not planning on buying this. All the other yarns that I bought, I had a plan to purchase those for socks, hats, the granny triangle wrap, my kids' blankets. But I saw this one and I could not pass it up. It is very sparkly. I don't know if you can see the sparkle. There's all kinds of colors in this. Blues, oranges, yellows, purples, pinks. It's beautiful and it's sparkly. And this is dyed by the Copper Corgi, who's out of coastal Florida. This is again exclusively dyed for the Smoky Mountain Spinnery. For this line of yarn, what she did was she went to the Smoky Mountains and took pictures and then use those pictures as inspiration for her yarn. This one is called Winter Wishes. That is pretty much it. Tonight I'm going to dinner with my dad for his birthday. Tomorrow we have some fun things planned for the boys. There's an indoor, I can't remember what it's called, but there's an indoor tubing, like snow tubing place that we're going to take them to. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think that's all that I have to share with you guys this week. I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week. Bye.